Hey there guys, just want to make a quick video on 84mm knives in my collection. Now I've actually gravitated to the 84mm knives, and it's sad to say that it looks like there are less and less of them being produced, and some have been discontinued as of December, and we'll go over that. Now first off, we have the small Tinker, or Tinker Small, which is just a smaller version, the 84mm version of the Tinker. You've got your backside tools there, the Phillips head and your awl, and you've got your scale tools and a keyring, and you've got a secondary blade, penknife, and your standard openers. Your can opener slash small flathead, works with some Phillips heads as well. And then you've got your larger flathead, which locks in the 90-degree angle. You've got a little wire stripper and your bottle cap opener. And this also works as a little mini pry bar. Little pry tool, I mean. So you've got the small Tinker right there. Some of these I purchased in a lot. These are used tools. See, 1, 2, and 3 were purchased, I believe, $33 for all three. And these are used tools. First off, we've got the Recruit, which don't have any backside tools. You've got your scale tools and a keyring, and you get your secondary pen blade. This is in pretty decent condition, but I think it's gunked up where the tool is not locking in the 90-degree angle. The Recruit is pretty popular amongst, from what I can see on videos and Reddit forums, it's pretty popular with people who love to mod the ALOX knives, which you can see there on the second row. Then you've got the, I believe this is the Tourist, which is basically just an 84mm version of the Spartan. Now don't ask me why they call it the Tourist, because they call the Tinker Small the Tinker Small. They could just call this the Small Spartan. But anyway, you've got the Tourist here, which is the 84mm version of the Spartan. If anybody knows of a difference between the two, let me know. You've got your awl. This is an older version. There's no hole in the awl. And as you can see, you don't have any scale tools with this version, and you don't have a keyring. You have the standard opener layers and your main blade and secondary blade. Now, this knife, at the moment, there's another seller. There is a seller that has that listed for $45 and claims that is a rare knife. I cannot really verify if that's the case, but it would be great to have some confirmation on that. So if anybody's an expert on the 84mm line, let me know in the comments below if, to your knowledge, is that knife really that rare? So here is a Sportsman. These have been discontinued. I think the Tourist as well as a Sportsman have been discontinued, or some versions of them have been discontinued as of December. The Sportsman has the nail file, nail cleaner. I heard that this also doubles as a small Phillips screwdriver in some certain capacity. And you've got this stippled nail file, not cross-cut, which is better. And their explanation is that the cross-cut ones have an issue with you're basically taking a material and cutting into the knife stock or the tool stock, and you can compromise the integrity of the tool. Now you've got your 84mm blade, standard openers, and this one as well is not locking on the 90-degree angle. This has the corkscrew instead of backside Phillips. Most of them do. And you've got your awl. So the corkscrew is more common with the most of the Victorinox knives. And here we've got my favorite out of the 84mm line. This is the Walker. So when you look at it, it looks like a Bantam at first, but this is actually a two-layer knife, or two-layer tool. You've got a saw there. These have been discontinued. At some point in time, these were going for about $20, and after they were discontinued, they now fetch a price anywhere between $50 and even $100. They were listed as high as $100 on Amazon just a couple of days ago. We'll now move on to something very similar to the Walker. This is the My First Victorinox, designed for children. It would be great for Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, whatnot, or just anyone who takes their children out for camping. This would be a great tool. Their first tool. You know, they have a blunt tip. You've got your combo tool so they can learn how to open cans. It does have a wire stripper, and you've got the bottle cap opener as well, flathead, and it turns into a Phillips if you put it at an angle. And they say you could just turn it that way for some certain sized Phillip heads. And you've got a very nice translucent blue, and your scale tools right there. And you got a nice keyring. And I think I'll be purchasing more of these for the scales even. And I plan to do a lot of mods with the 84mm saw. So very few tools contain that now, the 84mm saw. And I plan to do some ALOX mods, and we'll be using quite a few of these for those mods. I also like the scales, so you can change your Bantam scales or your Walker scales with these. Now there are no available translucent scales that have the cutout, so if you wanted to change your scales for your Wader or your Tinker Small, there are no translucent tools as far as I know for those. So the next up is the Wader, and I included the Glasses mini screwdriver in there. So any one of these corkscrews will fit these tools, the mini screwdrivers. And this one comes with your corkscrew, your blade, and your combo tool. Very lightweight. I believe this weighs around 1.4 ounces. I have a separate video on that. Pretty lightweight. Next up is the Bantam. And the Bantam is basically just the same tool without any backside tools. So I'm pretty sure these are also pretty popular with the ALOX modders, because if you need a back spring, ALOX models don't have any back tools. Next up is the Bantam in the ALOX line. You lose the scale tools. So it's the exact same tool set minus the Celador scales. So you lose your scale tools, and you don't have a keyring with the Bantam in the ALOX. This knife weighs exactly 1 ounce, and it's a very nice feel when you get to the ALOX. These are now going for around $35 to $45, and I heard that at one point in time they were selling for about 20 bucks as well. So I think as late as last year. And now we have the Victorinox Cadet, one of the most popular ALOX knives. 1.7 ounces, and it has a very similar tool set to the Cadet, to the Recruit. You've got your 84 millimeter main blade. You've got, let me see, so here the snap, and then you've got your stippled nail file. This is pretty dirty. I purchased this one used, and it came in a lot of 3 for $68, I believe. So it came out to about $23 a piece, pretty much. And then you've got your standard opener layers and your large Phillips slash bottle opener slash wire stripper and mini pry bar, and it locks into place for a little bit more torque, just like most of these tools. Now, just a couple of things that I've been thinking about in terms of the 84 millimeter line. Again, there are only a few sources of the saw, and I haven't found any 3-layer 84 millimeter tools as of recent models. Most of them end at the 2-layer mark, and I'm not counting the Delamont line because those are technically 85 millimeter tools, and I'll be making a separate video there. But for those who want to mod these just like I do, there is no 84 millimeter scissor that's in current production. So any sources that are stock, Victorinox 84 millimeter scissors will usually cost $100 or more. And I'm looking to get a couple of those just for the collection, but I'm not going to be taking those apart. So you've got a couple of tools here that I purchased strictly for modification. One of the things I started thinking about is when you mod knives, a lot of people, from what I see, they basically take knives apart and they wind up with spare parts. And I'd rather have a way of combining 2 knives whenever I do a mod. So I figured out that if I took this is the older version of my first Victorinox, similar to the blue one here. And if I take the saw and the combo tool from this one, I can form pretty unique tools. I can take the saw and the combo tool and add it to a wader, and I basically get a walker or a lumberjack. That's what they used to call it before they named it the walker. But I'll have a lumberjack with a corkscrew, so I can carry tinder directly on the knife itself. And with the tools that I take from this knife, I can then oops, my mistake, not the wader. If I take the tools from the Sportsman, this is the Sportsman. So if I take the tools from the Sportsman, I can replace the file with the combo tool and then replace the opening layers with the saw, and I wind up with a lumberjack with a corkscrew. And I can then turn the other tool, the other knife, into a knife with a blunt tip, nail file, and opening layers, and you get to keep the awl on that as well. So I would call that the Junior Cadet or Junior Recruit. And so I'm looking forward to modding that combination. And then the other combination I'm planning to do would be the wader and the small tinker. And that would become an apprentice, which would be your backside Phillips main blade. And then you get to have the combo tool as a single layer knife. And then the wader would then turn into a tourist. So not much wasted parts. And of course, I plan to make a couple of knives out of the Alox knives that I have here. I purchased 3 of these, again for about $23 a piece, and I'm planning to make the Swiss Bianco version of the lumberjack and micro farmer. So stay tuned for those. I just need to find more of these knives. So this was bought from eBay, and I paid still a good amount of money for this. I believe I paid almost $28, and this is pretty beat up. These go for about $40 on Amazon. You can order them directly from the Victorinox website, and I think if you order more than $60, then you get shipping for free. So you're paying about $60+ for 2 of these, but you get free shipping. So things to consider in terms of pricing. But yeah, those are what I'm thinking about. I'm not going to bother with the scissors on any of my mods at this time, since it will be too costly. But I'm planning to add some saws to some of these. I might even make a 3-layer hiker, but that's kind of like the micro farmer anyway. So I think I'm going to do the micro farmer and an Alox lumberjack and the other tools that I spoke about. So guys, thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you all later.